Origins, one of the greatest zombie installments of all time, and I mean all time. The map is really one of the greatest additions to any video game ever, first being introduced in Black Ops 2 and then remastered in full with Zombie Chronicles in Black Ops 3. 4 staffs with different elemental attributes, a shielded boss zombie named the Panzer, and an Easter egg that rivals even the best of maps. What more could you ask for in a zombies experience? Nothing. And that is why in today's video, I will be reaching round 100 on Black Ops 3's Origins. Can I survive to round 100, or will I fail miserably? Come with me as we climb the rounds in the greatest zombies map of all time, Origins. Before we begin though, I think it's important to understand why I picked Origins as the map to do next. Well, not only do I love the map, but after my video on hitting round 100 on Revelations, a lot of you guys actually commented and asked for me to do high rounds in other maps. So I picked a comment from Perkaholic, who said he would love to see an Origins round 100. So Perkaholic, this is for you. Without further ado, let's get started. Loading up into the map, I hadn't played zombies in over 2 months, which meant I was a bit rusty. Now, I don't know what made me want to hit around 100 so badly, but I swear when you love COD zombies like me, you just get random urges to play zombies every now and then. The good thing about Origins though, is that the setup process is super easy and you can pretty much be ready for high rounds at about round 15, which is great. After loading into the map, I ran to the top of the bunker where I turned on the first 115 generator and prone on the quick revive machine for my free 100 points. After that, I killed all of the remaining zombies of the round and spun the gobblegum machine for the first time this game. Now I got pretty lucky with the raindrops, and that allowed me to get over 10,000 points from only 2 activations. This set me up very well and allowed me to open most of the doors on the map, which will be useful on the snow rounds where I can pick up all 3 ice staff parts. I made my way to the bunker by generator 2, which contained a couple of essential items I had to carry. First was the ice staff disc for the gramophone, second was the first shield part, and lastly was a stone tile for the G-Strike grenades, which will act like monkey bombs for the camping strategy. After picking these items up, I turned on the second generator. In my game, round 3 was a snow round, and this gave me the opportunity to dig up my first of 3 ice staff parts. Hey guys, it's Lynxis, just letting you guys know that about halfway through this video, I did switch mics. So this was my old mic, it was about like $60, I got it about 5 years ago, and I switched currently to the Blue Yeti X, so hopefully it sounds a lot better for you guys. Just trying to make the best content. Alright, back to the video. I then entered the workshop and opened the door to generator 3, where I picked up the second shield part and turned on the third generator. Now, I must have forgotten when editing this video, but I actually had a pretty close call with one of the zombies red screening me here. Obviously, I didn't go down, but these early rounds can be a bit scary if you're not paying attention. After I had everything I needed from the spawn area, I made my way up the stairs in the workshop and into no man's land for the first time this game. Once there, I ran to generator 5, where I could again turn on the power in that region of the map. Once generator 5 was on, I ran to the middle, checking for any dig spots on my way there. Before I went underneath the mound, I first grabbed the Maxis drum part and the gramophone disc so I would be able to build the ice staff when I got all the parts. I then picked up the gramophone and placed it in the bottom of the mound, and when it was ready, I ended the round with another nuke. Like round 3, round 4 was still a snow round, so I was still checking for all the dig sites I could on my way to generator 4. I picked up the last shield part there, and then bought the second to last generator. Afterwards, I looked for dig sites I could have missed while I was running around, and eventually I did find one, and dug up the second ice staff part. That means all I needed to do now was turn on generator 6 and find the last ice staff part, which I did on my first try when I opened the door. Because it was round 4, that meant I could spin the gobblegum machine once again, where I finally got a Perkaholic. When I ran up the stairs, I immediately placed my G-Strike tablet into the water in the church so I didn't forget later. I also turned on generator 6, and because I almost had everything I needed for the ice staff, I went to the crazy place by opening the portal in the bottom of the tunnel by generator 6. Once there, I picked up the gem in the middle and then returned from the crazy place where I started filling up the knife kills for the G-Strikes. After I had enough souls collected, I ran to the tank station with the tablet, being careful to not walk on any mud on my way there. After getting to the tank station, I again placed the tablet down and we continued filling it with souls. And after what seemed like ages with how slow these zombies were walking, I finally had my G-Strikes. I also built the shield in the bottom of the workshop, which is where you have to build it in the high run strategy I am running. If you're interested, I'm running a strategy by somebody named Skulky118, so I'll leave his link in the description below if you want to try out the strategy as well. Now that I had everything I needed for the staff, I ran underground, and I crafted it. Now, before I started the staff upgrade, I did pick up the wind staff disc for easy access to and from the crazy place, which will just make life a lot easier getting to the staff upgrade and especially filling it with souls later. And with that, I entered the portal and started doing the staff upgrade. Can I just say that I actually have no clue how people remember these symbols? It's kind of crazy to think that speedrunners have been playing this map so much that this upgrade is like second nature to them. I've never been able to not look at a spreadsheet while I'm upgrading the staff, and I always have to have the cheat sheet on hand. Anyway, I completed the first step and then teleported back, where I could shoot 3 tombstones and then shatter them with my pistol. I think everyone knows this, but if you didn't, you can actually shoot the 3rd tombstone from across the map by simply lining up the shot with your ice staff and then shooting it with your pistol. Once that step was done, I turned all the tiles in the underground to blue and then shot the orb. I also decided to pack a punch the Mauser, just because it would be way easier to get the souls for the ice staff and I wouldn't have to worry about going down. And finally, with everything done, I could place my staff in the underground and fill up the souls for it. For me, grabbing the ice staff is like an instant relief on Origins because you know that once you have it and you sit in a corner, you'll be safe for dozens of rounds without even moving. Also, if you know Origins, you would know that I missed the Panzer round, which means that the Panzer was definitely waiting for me when I got back. However, with the upgraded staff, the Panzer was no match. I basically killed him in 5 seconds and I couldn't even see him die. That's how overpowered the ice staff is. If you decided to check out the round 100 strategy, you would know that the entire strategy is based around camping in the fire staff tunnel, which was where I was after my staff upgrade anyway, so because I was there, I did play out the next couple rounds kind of testing out the strategy. Obviously, I wasn't completely set up, but for these earlier rounds it didn't really matter, and all I needed for now was the ice staff. I did forget to mention one other thing about the strategy, which were the Templar zombies that show up every few rounds. These mid-round bosses, if you can even call them that, come out and attack your generators, and if you decide either not to kill them, or if you cannot kill them in time, they will turn off the generator, and they're really just quite annoying. However, these Templar zombies are one of the only reasons why hitting round 100s on Origins is even bearable. Why, you might ask? For one, the Templar zombies give you something to get out of the fire staff tunnel for, which seems kind of stupid to say, but seeing as 90% of this round 100 is sitting in a corner, it does provide a tiny challenge with a little bit of a breather for the high rounds. Secondly, if you manage to kill the Templar zombies while they're taking your generator, you will be rewarded with a max ammo for your efforts, which is always a good thing in high rounds. After camping for a couple more rounds, I decided to get fully set up, which required me to pick up both the LCAR 9 and the Kuda wall buys. This is because with alternate ammo types, every bullet weapon on Black Ops 3 does infinite damage. The only thing left to do was finish the painstakingly tedious task of applying dead wire to the Kuda and turned to the LCAR 9. Which I finally did on round 17. It took 5 rounds just to put the right alternate ammo type on my guns. This basically summarizes my luck. And with both of my guns pack-a-punched, as well as having the upgraded ice staff, the G-strikes, and the shield, the setup for the round 100 was officially done. Throughout the round 20s, I continued to sit in the fire staff tunnel and mainly use the ice staff. Sometimes, if the Templar zombies spawn very far away from me, I would either have to wait to kill them at a closer generator, and then go back through the whole map to turn on the generators that they turned off, or I would have to try and use the portals in the crazy place to get there before they turn off more generators. Other than the Templar zombies, the Panzers were the only other mild challenge throughout these early rounds, but with the ice staff, I made pretty quick work of them. I was also trying to get the timing of switching from my LCAR 9 with turn to my Kuda for deadwire, and then back to the ice staff to make sure the camping spot was safe and that I was killing all the zombies coming through the barrier. As you can tell, all the zombies that spawn in the fire tunnel come out of the one opening across from where I usually stand and camp, and the other zombies will be spawning up top by generator 1 and will have to run down the tunnel before I kill them. What I tried to do was turn a zombie already close to the top of the tunnel, then he would turn around and run up top and kill all the zombies spawning by generator 1. Sometimes the turned zombies would cooperate and run up top, while other times they would sit down in the tunnel and not kill any zombies until they died. The power-ups that were the most useful on this high round attempt were max ammos, insta-kills, and death machines. Death machines were exceptionally useful because they allowed me to conserve ammo for both my guns and my ice staff and kept killing zombies throughout the whole run. One thing about the strategy that can either be a positive or a negative is the portal being right here. Now, this was a great option if I needed to get either across the map for the Templar zombies, or if I was in a sticky situation at all throughout the round 100. But one thing I don't like about the portal being here, and this could just be my stupidity, is that sometimes I would run into the portal by accident and would either miss out on a drop or just be thrown off my game. This example I'm showing you is where I killed a Panzer but then accidentally ran into the portal where I was unable to pick up the drop he had given me. Now luckily, I got back just in time and picked up the drop, which was in my case a max ammo, but if this were to happen in the later rounds, it could make or break my run. Again, like I said earlier, this round 100 is mainly just camping, so these early rounds especially weren't that difficult, and were really just boring. Each time I got a max ammo, I would throw my G-strikes down first, and then try and unload my ice staff before picking up the max. As you can see, I hit round 50 here with a nuke to finish off the lower half of this run. Like I said before, this round 100 was a lot of the same thing, just camping and occasionally running to kill the Templar zombies or killing the Panzers. Now after you hit round 50, like I stated in my Revelations video, this is really only around 1/3 of the time it will take for the whole round 100. Throughout this attempt, I tried to avoid picking up nukes unless it was at the end of a round or I just needed a break for a couple seconds. The thing that many people don't know is that nukes actually slow down the round 100 by disabling spawns for a short time, and the only map that nukes will actually speed up the run on is Noct. But that's just because the zombie spawns on Noct are painfully slow anyway. I can't wait for that round 100. I would say that by round 60, I had the strategy down well enough so I could listen to music and watch movies without having to worry about going down, which, let me tell you, is a pretty great thing to do during these high rounds. Now it took a while, but I was finally feeling confident for a flawless run, which I've never done before. Haha, funny number. Round 71, the infamous zombies round. Would I let Mr. T-Lexify kill me? Nah, of course not. However, round 76 was a different story. It started off like any of these higher rounds, respinning the gobble gun for something decent, and running back to the tunnel before I continued. Now, since I wasn't focusing as much as before, I was more prone to taking downs off of stupid decisions. Obviously, when you have the ice staff, you try and charge up the staff to actually kill zombies, and up until now I haven't had a problem, but at around 76 I accidentally shot a regular shot instead of a charged one, which didn't kill the zombies and forced me into a corner where I was red screened. Now, right before this, I shot a charged shot, which had barely enough time to kill the zombie in front of me, dropping a nuke to allow me to live. This was definitely the best clutch I ever had hitting high rounds, and I still don't know how I didn't die. Needless to say, after this I was a bit more careful when shooting my ice staff. As for time so far, up until the round 70s, every 10 rounds took around 20 minutes to finish, but after round 70, it can take up to 50 minutes to get through only 10 rounds. But that's just the sacrifice you have to make when going for around 100. From round 80 and higher, I always try to have a max ammo gobblegum, especially alchemical. These would make it so that I wouldn't have to worry about ammo for my ice staff, which would come in handy throughout the round 90s especially. When I did finally hit round 90, I was feeling great. I was about to get my first flawless round 100, and it was going to be on the greatest map of all time. I think at this point, muscle memory kind of set in, and it did show. I was flying through these rounds, and I was using the alternate ammo types correctly with minimal time loss. Now on round 96, I spawned the gobblegum machine, and for the first time in the whole game, I used a round robin. I know some people will see this as cheating, but I promise I will do around 100 without gobblegum soon, and I only used a couple toward the very end of the run. I played out round 97 and 98 as usual, just camping down in the fire staff tunnel until round 99. On round 99, I took another chance at the gobblegum machine where I finally got it, a round robin. With the game finally complete and my sanity somewhat intact, I pressed 1 on my keyboard with a 99 on the bottom left of my screen, faded into a 100. Now with the round 100 complete, I just messed around on the map until I got swarmed by zombies and I ended the game. With that being my first flawless round 100 ever, apart from the intentional down at the end of course, and my first time ever reaching round 100 in Origins, my mission was done. I give this map a 7 out of 10 for the high rounds, with it being fun at times and boring at others.
I mean, it's alright, like, overrated as fuck in my opinion. I mean, and you know what though? That's typically how the bullshit goes.
I will obviously recommend everyone to try and reach round 100 on Origins, as I think it's a good test for some of the other maps that are to come later. Now, with all that being said, I try to stream a lot on Twitch at Lynxis_Lab, so if you want to check it out, be sure to follow. Thank you guys for sticking around this long, and yeah, Lynxis Lab out.